Hi everyone, welcome back to Talks with Zaria. So today I have a special guest. We have Sheika Walsh. Say hi to people, Sheika.
Hi.
How are you feeling? Tell the people how you're feeling.
I am elated. I'm excited. Awesome.
Oh gosh, I love to hear that. I love to hear that. So I want you to tell the people, well, I know who you are, but I want you to tell the people, you know, who you are and what you do.
Okay. Where to start? So I am Sheika Walsh. I am Christian, child of God, most definitely and foremost. I'm the communication and marketing manager at the Vocational Training Development Institute, otherwise known as the VTDI. I am also involved very much in church life. I am the public relations director. I am the Bible studies coordinator. I am praise and worship leader and director and a host of a whole different things. I am also a business owner for Sheik's Enterprise. Yes. And I do events planning, I sell men's accessories. I do MC, I do hosting, I do a whole stuff things. And it's just by the grace of God that has given me the skills, the talent to do what I do. I am here, and there's so much about me, but I think that sums up what I do. Because you trickle down things, but
Yeah.
that's who I am.
No, that's amazing. Anyone else agree with me that she is definitely a Proverbs 31? Like, no, that is so amazing. I think I probably would have I saw Sheikah Enterprise, but like I don't know. It probably slipped me because, social media has so many things
Yeah,
on it. But congratulations.
thank you.
Juggling both and then church, like that's amazing.
It's a lot,
I want
but
to ask
it's
you about the
good.
time management. Like how do you manage it all?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know. I would just say it's God because a lot of times, juggling work is very time consuming, especially for what I do, and having to deal with a host of different people, not just internally but externally. You are running a business where people wants to see you, you're planning events, but and then you're doing church work. But I think it's I use the weekends for my personal stuff and probably like after working hours, like after 5, sometimes I work late, but still I use those times to do my work or do anything that, maybe asked of me. If it's something to be delivered, then, try to find a workaround and stuff. But outside of that, I think when it comes to time management, I don't know if I'm a good time management person, but thank God the job gets done when it is to be done.
Thank you so much for sharing. That is so interesting, that God was able to, strengthen you. I mean, first of all, He gave you these many talents, so He would have given you the ability to just manage and just be able to go through, and that's really amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you was, what led you down the path of becoming a communication and marketing manager? Because I know we were in the same class years ago. Can I say that?
Yes, you were.
Yeah, so what motivated you to? Is that something that you always had in mind, or was this one of the next best thing?
I wouldn't say it was something I had in mind all along, nor the next best thing. I believe because of, my gifts and talents, I love events. I love entertainment. So I actually started out my first degree or associate's degree, as persons will call it, because they only say bachelor's is a first degree. But for me, my associate is my first degree.
Tell
So
them.
I did, I did in entertainment and events management. And I did that because I've been doing events, I've been doing planning, I've been doing all of those things, and I wanted to be certified. So, of course, shout out to VTDI, that's where I did it, where I now work. And, it's all about competency, practical skills and all of those things. And my program coordinator at the time, Mrs. Michelle Gordon, she encouraged me to say, Sheikah, you can't stop here. You need to move on. You need to go on and do other things. It's not just about just stopping at an associate because there's so much in store for you. So I was like, hmm, sure, but who's going to pay for it? So she encouraged me. I applied to UWI, of course. I applied to two different programs, Cultural and Creative Industries, which
Mm.
was one of the courses that I did at VTDI. And I also applied for IMC, Integrated Marketing Communication. So I was like, I got accepted to both. And I decided to choose IMC because I'm like, events and entertainment industry. I'm doing this business. I am all in for this. Why not do something that will enhance what I already have and what I'm already doing to make myself more marketable? And
Mm.
then, of course, you're doing integrated marketing, public relations, social marketing, and advertising. Communication marketing. Why not? Enhance your skills, not just do it for yourself, but do it for others. So that is what led me down this path.
Mm.
As I said, it's not something that I really wanted to do in terms of communication and marketing. I just wanted to do straight events, but IMC opened the door and I just walked right in. So,
See, I love how sometimes, it's like I realize this thing about God where he brings you to one place first, almost like a preview, but you don't know it yet. And then you always
definitely.
end up. Can you
How
imagine?
did I get here? This is not what I wanted to do,
Exactly.
but this is what I want you to do. So yeah.
No,
It's
exactly.
amazing.
It
It's
really
amazing.
is, and I'm happy that you were able to, because, I know a lot of people, they have a hard time, doing what God has called them to do in, different areas that he has. And then I'm happy that you were able to see like, oh no, this is a good opportunity. I'm just going to jump straight ahead into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really
definitely.
good. So, another question that I have is what do you think some of the skills are that you need for this position? If in case anybody, is interested in becoming a communications and marketing manager. Manager.
Of course. All right, so the first thing is you must have leadership skills. Even though it's marketing, it's communication, you must have leadership skills because
Mm,
this job is not one for the faint heart, of spirit, of anything at all, because you have to deal with a host of different personalities. So, leadership skills, of course, communication skills, marketing skills, uh, customer service. You must be a people person. I mean, you're not going to please everyone, but you
mm,
must be able to decipher what's good, what's bad, how you deal with it. You must have empathy, of course, time management skills, and also just being a good communicator, which, yeah, falls under communication skills. There are a host of others, but I believe those are my top skills that you need to have as a communication and marketing manager. Definitely.
that's very interesting because a lot of people want the position of a manager, but they don't like people. And it's
Hey,
it's funny because it's like, how are you going to, how are you going to get your team to work effectively? if you're not able to motivate them.
That's true. And like I mean, I work with an amazing team. They're young,
Oh.
but they're very supportive.
Mm.
Sometimes I don't feel like I'm the manager. I feel like I'm their friend, even though I'm not there to be their
Oh.
friend. But I believe God gave me a good set of people to work with. They are also Christians, and I won't just say Christians, they're children of God. They motivate me, they encourage me. And I don't just say, oh, I'm the manager, you do this, you do that. If I have an idea, I run it by them. If they have an idea, they run it by me. We work together, we gel together. And I believe that God set me up in this time with those set of people. And it just makes the work, even though others are around you, will kind of make it hard. It
Hmm.
makes it easier for me with my team. So I believe with the whole leadership skills, being a people person, knowing how to deal with people and all of that, it really helps. It really helps.
That's really good, because I find if you're trying to get the team to move and then they're not really responsive, it's still, it doesn't work.
It's draining.
So that's really
Definitely
good. And I really
draining.
think that that's how, you know, the how do I say, how the team is supposed to work. Like I really do think, especially, at one point when I was working corporate, I saw where, they had like little catch-up sessions where it was just very casual, where you can
Yeah.
complain about a manager. Complain about a manager session or complain about a
Yeah.
project or just just literally lay your hair down or whatever. And I think it's important because that bond, it's like you're more willing to be a team player because you feel like your what's it called, opinion matters. And then,
Definitely.
yeah, and then seeing also that when you mentioned, that you were able to talk to them and they're Christian and all of that, it kind of reminded me of Lila Hormozi. I don't know if you heard about her. Lila Hormozi.
No.
Well, her
Maybe
husband
if I hear
is
the story.
yeah, her husband is Alex Hormozi, and they own like this like what, $100 million company or something like that. But they talk a lot about running things by their team, but they don't just make a decision. But because they trust their team and their team works together, um, they always run the decision by them first to hear their opinion before, moving forward. And I just thought
That's
that was really
important.
cool.
It
Yeah.
definitely is important because if you are working with a team, they always say there's no I in team. If you're working with a
Mm,
team, and you expect a project or an event or an activity is to be executed or executed well, you want to ensure that it's not just you, oh, I have this idea, you throw that idea and they should run with it. What if there is something better that they have? And I believe and I've experienced when you get others involved, when you get their opinions, their skills involved, they are more excited to do the job. They are more excited to ensure that the job gets done because they don't
mm,
feel like, oh, I'm just doing this because I have to do it or I was asked to do it. I'm doing this because I want to do it. I am invested in it. I see where I can shine in this as well. And it's just important where that is concerned,
yeah, I would
where
agree
team
with
is
you on that.
concerned.
I would 100% agree with you on that. And then another thing I want to ask you is what would you recommend, somebody who wants to start out in marketing? Because I can understand, like, if you don't really know what you're doing, because a lot of people don't know, they just see marketing as a bit of advertising. But then, you learn really quickly that it's broad.
Totally different.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of the tips that you would give them, things to look out for, things to acquire? What tips would you give them?
Uh, my first tip would be to find out if you're really interested in this
Mm,
marketing because It's a lot of work. It's time consuming. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not a Monday to Friday job. It's a constant thinking. It's a constant, it's thought process over and over and over, running ideas. So you must have that mindset. Are you interested in this? Do you have a passion for it? Of course, research is very big right now, and I would tell anyone or recommend that you research. There are different types of marketing, and we've learned about that. Integrated marketing that we've done, it's all about public relations, which is different from social marketing, which is different from the regular marketing that most persons would know about, and it's different from advertising. So you want to do marketing. Are you really interested in marketing, or are you interested in advertising, or are you interested in public relations? So do your research. Or again, are you interested in just social marketing, going on social media, understanding people's attitudes, or you just want to sell them a product? So do your research, and based on that, of course, find out which one makes the more money if you're in it for the money as well, which most people are. And based on your research, you make the right choice. So that would be my recommendation. There are other things, but I believe those would get you in to making a quick decision into the marketing industry.
Yeah, I think those are really good tips because as we said, also people are not really aware of the different types. And then I feel like in those different types, it's further segmented.
Of course, there's a host of different things that you can do. There's so many job opportunities under each banner. Marketing, social marketing, public relations, advertising. Thank God for school because I didn't know half of that.
Exactly. I feel like even after school, I was lost. People ask me,
Really?
what parts of marketing do you want to do? I said, I don't know, maybe social media or research, marketing research. And then I did both of them. I'm like, no, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, the good thing is that you have the knowledge, you have the skills, you have the education. You can venture into anything that you want. Because
That
you
is
have
true.
it. You have
That is
it.
true. And then one thing I'm realizing, and you can even validate this as well, is that I find communication is so important in marketing. Like you really need to understand your target audience and, just how they
Definitely.
talk to be able to
Definitely.
connect with them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I even had a conversation recently with some employees. They were shooting some ideas by me, which were great ideas. But while I was there talking with them and, seeing all their excitement and stuff, at the end of the day, I had to think, Sheikah, you are the marketing manager. You're the communication and marketing manager. All these people, they have the ideas, they have, all the fun things that they would want to do. But at the end of the day, is it right for this time? Is it a good strategy for this time? Because it is a good strategy. Are we reaching the people that we want to reach for this time based on where we are as a school, as a brand? Like, yeah, you want the word to get out there, but who are you bringing it to? Are these people aware of who we are in the first place? So I was like, listen, you have to study the attitudes. You have to know what you're going to say, how you're going to say it. Are you trying to reach people from quote unquote the inner city? Are you trying to reach people from uptown? It's not
Mm,
just going on TikTok and just, oh, I'm promoting a program. How are you going to promote the program? So I was like, thank you for the ideas, but we have to sit and, dissect and go through all of this. It's not just grabbing up your phone and going on it and posting. So
mhm.
I was thinking about all of that. I was like, I'm important, you know?
That's right.
I am important. I'm here for a reason. because you don't want to be doing things and it's not effective. So you need
That
to
is
do things
true.
that are effective and for the right time, for the right reason, for the right people. Yeah.
That sounds like the anointing of Issachar. Yeah, that's a bit like
Like
I
I was
didn't know
preaching
that you
just
were
now.
running a business though. I didn't know you were running a business like while we were going to school. I'm not sure if I should mention the school on here. No free cred.
But yes, I started from 2020. There's still some legal issues, still
Mm.
things to be worked out. But at the end of the day, you still have to go through the
Yeah,
process, which is what I'm going through. It's sometimes up, sometimes down, but I started it, so I have to continue because I
that's
see
right.
where it's needed. So,
I feel the same with mine as well. I think in my head I was like, oh yeah, I have the idea. I've prayed about it. Let me just put it on social media. No, I need to understand. Yeah,
yeah,
it's just as you said, like trying to figure out where exactly does it land, and then cater to those people. So I agree
because
with you.
really and truly, I'm not a business person. Let me not say that. I'm a business person. I do not understand every aspect of
Mm,
business. And that's why when I was doing my degree as my elective, I chose courses that could help me in entrepreneurship because I really didn't know much. I did mainly arts, I did sciences, I did a little bit of business, but I didn't like them. But if I'm called to do this, I have to have the skills. I can't depend on people all the time. I need to
that's right.
understand it. Even if I'm paying an accountant to do something, I need to know what I'm doing, what the accountant is doing, because there's so many stories out there, and I do not want to be a statistic. So
Right.
I did the courses that could help me. And that is why I said, I'm still building and trying to understand the business, trying to understand the industry, and using my skills as a marketer, as, you know, learning public relations, advertising, marketing, social marketing to help my business. So I'm still learning and
Do you
I'm
find
welcome.
that it's so easy to come up with strategies for other companies, but for your own company, it's like, okay, now how do I apply this here?
It's like it's so
Change.
difficult. And even if you have the ideas, like you don't know how to execute it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same. I'm just here like, okay, sis, I think we need to pivot because you wouldn't be doing this for other people's business.
And if they ask you a question, you know the answer immediately. You can write a
Exactly.
plan immediately. But like when it comes to you, like you're struggling. Oh boy,
Tell me about
I
honestly,
need
like it's
help.
like, and then I'm watching all these different people like, okay, let's make notes. All right, so they
Yeah,
say this, they say that. You know what? Let me just plant myself in a community of people who are doing the same thing because,
that's true.
yeah,
Community is definitely important. Networking
I
is
think so
definitely
too.
important.
Yeah,
It's so
especially
important.
when, well, for me, it's like a whole different industry. So, I find it makes sense to go in community because as the Bible says, like iron sharpens iron.
Definitely.
And I guess you'll be more aware of what's going on around you and how to adapt quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sure that people like to know as well, apart from running business, apart from doing events planning, PNC at church and other places, what do you do outside of all of that? Like, what do you do for fun?
I do road. I anywhere the road leads me, I will follow. As long as it's good, of course. Yeah, It's still within events, but I do plan road trips. I do a lot of road trips, even if it's me alone, which is not normally me alone. I need to do a solo trip. I keep saying that, but it's still
You
not
should.
happening. If it's just one person, I still join people with me. But I love to go to the movies, I go to the beach,
Mm,
even if I'm not going in the water, go to the beach. I'll just drive to a waterfalls, to waterfalls, different waterfalls, explore them. I'll sit on my phone and research different areas of Jamaica, different restaurants. I have a long list of places to visit and I tick them as I visit them. So, yeah, if I'm not planning, if I'm not writing, I am on the road
I like that.
somewhere. I'm on the plane. I'm somewhere doing something. I'm busy.
That's right.
Because if you ask me, like most people do, Shika, where you think I can go here for my birthday? Or where you think I can go for this? I can answer you because I went there and I make it a duty because when I'm recommending places, I need to know what I'm recommending. So I'll go. I'll go. Yeah.
No,
Road.
I do like that. I love like traveling to new places as well. And
Yeah.
just like my favorite thing to do when people ask me, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" Oh, I like going to uncommon areas in a common city.
Explore new places. Of course.
Yeah, because
You need to explore,
memories.
you
That's
need
what you
to
will tell your
learn.
grandkids. You have to have
Yes.
stories.
I mean, you were born in a certain area, but that does the Lord made this grand thing. Why not explore it? Why not understand what it is? You're teaching, you're preaching, you're sharing. Are you sharing on just Spanish Town? You need to learn about other places. And how are you going to learn? Go visit, meet people,
Exactly.
network, build your
Exactly.
circle.
That too. That too.
Yeah.
You know, something I learned as well about like building circles. I mean, yeah, networking. Something I learned was that don't just network because they have a high net worth. It's just kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous to say because it's obvious, but you know, also network because I mean, keep that network because you like the person and you agree with their
Mhm.
values and you know, you can actually have a good and meaningful time with them.
Yeah.
I think the bug bit me as well. But these days I find a lot of people they network only to get somewhere or to say, oh yeah, I know this person or you know, I've done this, but they don't really have, you know, much in common, especially the values standpoint. That's not in alignment and it's thinking, I don't think that's how we should do things.
They help you at the end of the day.
Exactly. Or is it just a name?
Yeah. I also tell people, very different for people. I don't care your status. If it's not just about if you can help me, but are we aligned? Like, as you said, like I will know you. I know you have a good net worth and all of that. Your name is good, but is your name good enough to help me? Is your name good enough to build me, not
Mm,
just physically or financially, but are you able to help me spiritually? Because that is important for me. I don't want to be associated with somebody that can't build me spiritually.
right.
Like at the end of the day, my soul matters. My spirituality matters. My walk with God matters. And of course, you have what is that? Birds of a feather flock together.
Back
Like,
together.
I need to flock with people of my kind.
Yeah,
And
I'm realizing that.
I always say that, I will tell my young people, I tell the church, excellence lives here, excellence belongs here. I am excellent. And because I'm excellent, I need to have persons who are excellent, not just with money, but with a good, you know, mind of God,
I 100%
values.
agree with you.
So,
Because I found, yeah, I mean, and then you wonder, well, not you, but like people wonder, I guess me at one point as well, I didn't realize I was doing probably subconsciously. You wonder why you feel drained or yes, drained, that's the word. You feel so drained around particular people and it's because you're not in alignment. And that's okay.
They
You
use
can
you and use you, or you use them, but for how long?
yeah, or the conversation you're just beating around the bush because you just know the
Oh
value.
my God. That is draining for real. That's draining.
Trust me.
Like it just feel like you're trying to force something that's not there. There's no real
Exactly.
connection. You're just doing this for the hype. Well,
Literally. Literally, or just because you're told.
yeah.
Oh yeah, network. Okay, I'll network. But I don't like this. It's fine. I'll still do it.
At the end of the day, you must come out with something that can also elevate others, not
That's right.
just for you to just hold on to. It must succession planning, succession intervention, succession elevation, something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. What
No, it's right. Like the relationship should have like some succession in the future.
can you give me for yourself? So much to think of.
I know. I'm over here thinking like, but I know you have to go. So I'm like, oh. This was such
Yeah.
an insightful conversation, Shika. It was so insightful.
Yeah.
You gave us you gave us business, you gave us managerial, you gave us life skills. Like it was the complete package from the Proverbs 31.
But all glory to God. And I really mean that. Like, that is so awesome. Like, you're growing from a child and people speak things over you. And then you reach this level where you used to hear people talk things, and you're wondering if you reach that level of maturity and just being in the moment, hearing others say things. I would not expect that. I would not think I would be here. I mean, I want to be, but being in the situation, experiencing it, it's really good. It's really good. And knowing that you are dependent on God.
Mm,
It's not just on your own skills or your talents or just the fact that you have certain knowledge, but it's good.
that was
Good.
gonna be my next question, but you answered it, and that's amazing. I find, it's amazing that you actually find fulfillment in doing all of this because it means it's worth it. It's worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think in my email signature, say Confucius, if you work, if you do what you love, feels like you're not
Mm,
working, you'd ever work a day in your life.
yeah.
And my mother even asked me this morning, like, isn't your work a lot? Like, no, it's what I want to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. I'm doing what I love. So some people will find if they were to do it, they find it draining, they find it time consuming, they find it tiring, but I just find it exhilarating and just moving on to the next thing and you're executing and you're seeing where people are being fulfilled, they like what they see, it enhances their life. And it's just awesome where you're doing a campaign and you hear people talking about it. I'm like, yes, nice. It feels good. It feels good. And I try not to do things of self because at the end of the day, I prayed about this. And I made a promise that when I'm finished with my degree, I'm not doing this for the world. I'm doing
Mm,
this for the kingdom. I don't want to see things of God looking worse than the things of the world.
mm,
So, I mean, I don't reach the level where I want to reach as yet. But I believe I'm
yeah.
getting there little by little because I want to know that me being a part of the kingdom, it's not just about Church of God Prophecy. It's not just about my local church, but it's about the kingdom. I want to know that anything to do with communication and marketing, anything to do with events, I am enhancing the kingdom. I want when they see an event from the church, like, whoa, when I'm thinking about reggae surface and everything as it can't come here. Feel like be better.
Still learning how to do that because I agree with you. Why is it that the world has all these, just beautiful imageries and then the church is like lagging behind? Yeah.
To be like the world. You're not gonna be like the world. Be better than them.
Mm,
You have the resources. You have the greatest resource. Yes. So we just have to have that faith, have that determination, have that persistency, have that knowledge knowing that we are favored. And, we'll have tests, we'll have trials, but if we just believe, if we trust and
mm.
use the talents that we have and enhance the church, we're enhancing other things, enhance the church, and we'll get there. We can get there. I want to say we will get there. We must. Yeah. All right, then later. Bye, guys.